Someone quite cruelly went on Twitter and said that referee Peter Banks does not have custody of his children. Just because you don't have custody of your kids doesn't give you an excuse to be a shit referee, mate. I'm just putting that out there. Can we personally request that he doesn't referee any more West Ham games for the rest of the season? We have a case for asking that after what happened in the Newcastle game. It has finished West Ham United 2, Newcastle United 2 at the London Stadium. It's Canadian Thanksgiving today on the Monday when I'm recording this, and honestly, I'm very thankful for the players we've got in the team right now, but I'm not thankful for VAR and the referee. I'm thankful that Kudus got his first goal, but I'm not thankful that Isaac was allowed in twice to score for Newcastle. I'm thankful that I got to watch West Ham on a Sunday, but I'm not thankful that we've got another frigging international break and I'm not going to be able to watch Premier League football for the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to be bored shitless at home. Who the hell came up with that schedule? I do not know, but I do not watch international games. But that's not why I'm ranting. Because West Ham kind of was robbed in this game, but at the same time it kind of wasn't. There was a bit of something on my laptop there, I don't know what that is. Everyone's quick to get on the players for conceding the 2 goals very quickly, but no one talks about the fouls that happened leading up to the goals. For example, everyone doesn't see the bigger picture in this. Key decisions went against us, and that was obvious to see after the game. During the game, you couldn't see it as much because it wasn't checked as thoroughly, and it wasn't even shown on the screen, even if that were so. So I don't know what happened. But let me get into the starting lineup pretty much for West Ham. Unchanged. There. Said it. Why does Callum Wilson always recover in time from an injury? That man could have his leg blown off by a landmine. That man could literally have his head sliced off Henry VIII execution style or guillotine style to make it even more French. And he'd still have it reattached to him and he'd be fit in time to play West Ham. It's a curse. The first bit of action in the game was that West Ham was just on top for most of the first half. And our fullbacks caused issues because they were getting really advanced, cutting into the box and making things happen. I think it was Antonio laid it off for Paquetá. Paquetá found Emerson. Nick Pope makes a very rash decision to come out for the ball. Emerson rounds him. Now Emerson knows he's not going to be able to shoot this because he's not got a good chance of getting this in the net. So he squares it off to Souček, who taps it in. The Newcastle player who's trying to defend it is already over the line and in the net when this actually gets struck. Souček has his 4th goal of the season in all competitions. My man is back. And people said that Declan Rice didn't hold him back. Just remember that. Just remember that. It's not Declan Rice's fault. But it was. Right now, Souček is worthy of a new contract at this club. I'm serious, he is. The man is absolutely lightning at the minute. And Paquetá and Emerson on that left side, I'm not sure if it's because they have that Brazilian connection, but those two communicate effectively and they work so well. They're like passing the ball like a relay race to each other. Those 2 Brazilians were good, but another Brazilian who got married and invited Paquetá and his wife to the ceremony over the summer, Bruno G. This man went down more times than El Brook. That man, just looked like he had jelly legs. He literally, well actually no, even that. He was the one putting in all the dirty tackles. Playing it very rough. He got booked for a foul and then did it again soon afterwards. He was lucky not to be carded, and that's another thing. As I look at my notes, that's another thing. He was lucky not to be sent off in that game. He put in so many fouls and nothing was given against him apart from 1 yellow card. Our midfield went high on the press. JWP, very concise ball movement. Souček attempting feeder balls. Bruno fouled Bowen again. The man's living it like this. The man's living it like Michael J. Fox on a tightrope. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's how he was being. Send him off? Nah, not sent off. Great game, but bad officiating as far as I was concerned. But West Ham was 1-0 up at half-time and deserving it, even with less possession and less than 100 passes completed. In the second half, we have this, again, trait where we don't start off very well. Newcastle have more of the ball. Areola came up with a great save from close range to stop Dan Burn, the man who scored against PSG midweek. When 1-1 came, it was very unlucky at first. Alexander Isak, ball was headed to him by Alvarez in an attempt to clear it. He headed it straight to Isaac, who just finished it from really close range. But then I look back at it further, and Tonali actually crunches into Paquetá in a somewhat of a 40-60 challenge. And Paquetá's the one that's pulled back for it, and Paquetá tried to counter. It really wasn't a foul by the Brazilian. Why was this given as a free kick then? Even David Moyes was laughing on the sideline at Tonali, telling his Adam Driver-looking arse to get up and stop being such a crybaby. I'm going to say this right now, Newcastle fans. You have this Italian midfielder who's probably bossed it in Serie A. The second it gets too much for him, he'll piss off back to Italy and go and scran his mum's spaghetti because he won't be able to hack it. Do you know what I'm saying? The man won't be able to hack the Premier League. And then shortly after it was 1-1, Isaac made it 2-1 again with a tap-in. But before he tapped it in, having looked at it after the game, he pushes the West Ham player, shoves him, and then taps it in. Again, thought it was actually going to be ruled for offside. We didn't react to it either way. Again, thought it was off, but it wasn't. Isaac rounded the keeper, but again, clearance denied the hat-trick, so that was a good thing. Antonio came off for Benrahma and Kudus on for Souček. I don't know exactly what Benrahma did in this game. He did nothing. Quite ineffective. But on the 89th minute, we pulled it back. And so far, with his fourth assist of the season, getting it to Kudus, who controls the ball, fires it in first time. Poker has no chance. It's into the bottom right corner. Stoneboy, the Ghanaian superstar artist, was going mental. Mental in the crowd when he saw that goal go in. Even Kudus said something after the game. What a strike. Then stoppage time. Benrahma had a chance to tap it into the net and couldn't quite get his foot on it. But 2-2 is the fair result at the end of the day. And I call that in my preview. The referee, though, that's about as fair. You know what I'm saying? That's just about as fair as, nothing, really. I can't even think of an idiom, metaphor, whatever to describe it. He just was not fair. Peter Banks, we should just, completely COVID-19 him, lock him down, stop him from reffing West Ham games. I don't know how to express it. Just terrible job from him. Players, though, did really well. We're showing this attitude where we don't just give up easily. We're actually going into games with a little more hope and a little bit more fire in our bellies. And that's pleasing to see. Please continue it for the rest of the season and we will go far. But, again, the results, it's not good, it's not bad. I'm okay with it. We got a point and both teams, I think, got the share of what they deserved. Albeit we got the injustice of a bad ref.